What's up, everybody? We're going to be talking about the Mandalorian here shortly. Yeah, the chapter 13. That's right. Woo! Stick around. You're not going to want to miss it. I'm a little guy tonight. You see that?
Just slightly.
Why do you have me as such a little guy? What's going on?
Only a spirit.
Let me see if I can get bigger. Yeah, now I'm bigger.
There you go. Hey, dude. Hey, you got to put the Super Mario sound effect.
Which one was that?
I listen. I'll butcher it really bad. It's not gonna even sound right. It's gonna sound 6-bit.
Not even 8.
It won't even be 8. It'll be 6-bit.
Oh, you should have been so small when you're doing that, dude.
Oh, hey, now you want me to go small? What's going on?
Yeah. Hey, run into a turtle. Run into a turtle.
Do it again.
Do it again. Right, one more time. Ready?
All right.
There you go.
Here we go. There we go.
Hey, Dave, what's going on?
What's going on, Dave? Dave, Lady in the Box in the room. Dave Sampson. Are you in Orlando, Dave? It's the chilliest night of the year you've got.
Yeah, he brought the code with him.
Oh, that's so funny. Yeah, did you Dave, how's it going over there in Orlando? Are you there?
Alexa, Lady in the Box. What's up?
Lady in the Box, that's right. Gene, how are you?
Lady in the Bottle.
Lady in the Bottle.
Nice,
Okay.
good one.
I like.
Yeah. 2020 version.
Oh snap! Sorry, Alexa, stop.
That's exactly. Why do you?
Well, I don't know why he did it. I don't know why he did it.
I forgot about that one where it's at, and then it started talking about Lady in the Box because I said that next to give me some definition or something. I was like,
the funny part is that all he said was Alexa, and then he stopped.
Well, here's the thing. See, everybody listening through Facebook is going to hear that, and their Lady in the Box is going to go crazy. Not the Lady in the Box, but Lady in the Box. That's the Lady in the Box. We have their Lady in the Box. So.
Hers just went off.
Exactly. You can't do that. You can't do that. You mess people up like that.
No, it's fun for everyone. This is how we all get involved together. When everybody's just going off at the same time.
That's why I changed mine for that kind of thing there.
Yeah. I was going to say your keyword, but I was going to make you say it.
Yeah, I know you're trying to bait me into it.
He's saying it, yes.
What is it? There's only a few of them.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't remember. I don't hardly use it.
Oh, I see.
Yes. It's a box of electronics.
Oh.
Thanks everybody for joining us tonight. We appreciate that, and we know that your time is valuable, your emotions are valuable, your support is valuable.
It's always good to have your time and energy being used.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Right. That's serious.
So the question I wanted to ask Dave is that he had shorts and a t-shirt, and when he saw how cold it was, did he change?
Well, how cold was it?
How
cold was it?
Yeah, I think it was
like 39, wasn't it?
38 today. The high. I say the high. It could have been a little warmer, but I remember the temperature gauge on the car when I had to travel. It said 48. So I don't know.
48 or 38?
Pretty chilly.
48 or 38. There's a big difference.
It was 48.
Okay.
48 isn't cold.
For flip flops, it is. Everybody else is saying, "What's flip flops?"
Hey, Dave trooped it out. He said, "No, I didn't change. I still with my shorts and t-shirt."
Oh, I'm good.
You know where I'm from? This is summertime weather.
I don't know. What's Vegas out there like, Magic Mike? What's your temperature right now?
It was in the 50s.
Yeah. Okay. It's about the same. So it's not
yeah. It's this time of year here is great though because we don't have the bugs, so we can open our windows and.
Oh yes, that's awesome.
Yeah, we don't have that luxury. Sorry.
Yes.
See, Gene's in the spot where you get a little ice on the windshield. Yeah, that's true.
I had more than a little ice. I had snow.
but it's all melted, right?
Yes. It was by 9 o'clock. It was gone.
But I gotta tell you, the way Dave moves at Disneyland, I'm sure it's the same at Disney World. He'll get too hot if he's wearing heavy clothes because he moves like he's on a mission.
A mission as a plan.
Yes.
Yeah. That's all right.
I'm curious, Dave. Was it empty today? Was the park empty? Did you have it?
How was it? Just for fun here? How was the park? Because when I go, the last time that I've gone, like it, it's not that bad. It's just not that bad. How was it? How was your experience?
15-minute wait times. Was it 30-minute? Was it an hour? That's how you gauge it.
Yeah, I bet you it was lower than 15 for most.
Really?
Rides.
Oh my goodness!
I bet you. I mean, it's probably opened up a little more, but honestly, I mean, I'm just thinking, with that's what I'm just saying.
Yeah, Animal Kingdom was more full than usual.
The last one I went to was Animal Kingdom, Dave, and it was a little bit more full than others. And I was trying to coincide that with was it the Netflix special that they had, or the Disney Plus thing that they had on Animal Kingdom? I was trying to figure that out because all the other parks are pretty light. Animal Kingdom was the only one.
40 minutes.
40 minutes is not that bad. And the river 20 minutes. Oh no, same. Okay, 40 minutes. Yeah, that's not that bad. Usually it's like an hour and a half, 2 hours.
Yeah.
Really? Wow.
Everest, that's really good.
20 minutes for Everest. Yeah, that's not bad. It's
Well, Everest is starting to be an old ride, right?
It is. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Don't tell Dave that. Come on.
That's brand new. I just put that up last year.
Yeah.
Hey, the bigger question, Dave, were they wearing their mask?
Yeah. Oh no, Disney makes you. Yeah. They're sticklers. Right when you're coming in, they're like, okay, health check, and hey, you got your mask on. I know you're 2. I know you're 2-year-old. Do you have your mask on? Hey, before we get started here, because again, we want to get into Mando and stuff like that. Got some other tidbits of stuff that you guys might enjoy. I thought you might enjoy this. Hold on.
Oh, hey, tidbits are always fun, and we always enjoy tidbits. Especially from you.
I had started my the little things called the Geeky Tikis. Have you guys seen that? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. The collection.
You showed us
the collector.
Yeah. So I went ahead and I found another one here. I got this. I'm sorry. There's actually there's a light prop here that I'm not using that is in the way. I would get up and move it, but now I can't because it'll ruin the podcast. So here's the other one. Here's the droid from here. I'm gonna let me change.
Oh, sorry. This is funny. I'm just reading what Dave said. They went after a guy and a lady of taking a pic without their masks.
Yeah, man, they get you.
Wow, look at that.
So this is one of the droids from the movie.
I want you to know it's hand painted. That's what the box said. They want to make sure it's in big words, hand painted.
Then I picked up Vader, of course. You can't hardly see him; he's black. I don't have any.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
that is pretty cool.
Yeah. So he's there. Trust me. Like I said, I should have moved the prop, the light.
Hey Javier, welcome in. Good to see you.
Javier, how's it going? What's going on?
I think he got to feel a little bit of that cold weather too.
You can't see this one either. This is Kylo Ren.
Oh no, I can't.
Yeah.
They should have accented with like a little red.
It is, but you just can't tell. I didn't have my lights on tonight. Sorry.
That actually, those two are probably the best looking ones out of the bunch so far.
Yeah, I think so.
Thanks.
I agree.
Glad I got them.
I think those are two. Did you? So now what's left? Are you just buying when you see them? You don't care?
Buy when I see them. Yeah.
I don't need a Jar Jar. I'm gonna pick it up anyway.
But look, I got R2D2. There's Boba Fett. If I could run across with Boba Fett, that would be nice.
Well, you have 10 of them now, or something like that.
I don't know how many I have. I don't know.
Well, they're all over his feet. They're like little people.
They're all by my feet. They're like my gnomes.
That's right. People have gnomes for their yards. He has geeky tikis.
I want to see that out there in his yard. I want to see a picture of that.
All right. Let's tell you what.
Get started.
I say we get started. Let's talk about some cool stuff. That's what I'm all about. How do we do this? I forget. Don't go anywhere. Hold on. Okay, I got it. Here we go. On today's episode, you get a Mando recap of Chapter 13. That's the Jedi. Yeah, spoilers ahead. There's a monolith out there, and there's no monolith. Oh, well, no, wait. There's a monolith. Yeah, we're going to talk about that. How about young Luke coming up? And we didn't get a chance to talk about Gremlins last week. Let's do it this week. But first, we listen to this.
According to Wikipedia, a nerd is a person seen as overly intellectual, obsessive, introverted, or lacking social skills. Many called nerds are described as being shy, quirky, pedantic, and unattractive. We're here to prove Wikipedia right.
Oh, look who they let in.
This is Podcast for Sci-Fi, where all things sci-fi come to life. If it's fantasy, sci-fi, gaming, movies, interviews, we're talking about it. We're talking about it. This is Podcast for Sci-Fi, and here's your host, Moose, Game God, and Magic Mike.
Welcome to Podcast for Sci-Fi, where all things sci-fi come to life. That's right. I am your host, Moose. The other two guys here, Magic Mike and Game God. Yeah, that's right. Episode 278. Did I get that right, guys?
Yes, you did get it right.
Yeah, last week I messed up. This is where all things sci-fi come to life. So we're gonna bring it to life right now, I guess. Where would you guys like to start? Where do we start with Mando? We start off with some of the stuff that we want to. No, okay.
No, not Mando. We got build up to that.
All right, where would you like to start?
Hey, I'd like to start the Gremlins piece that you had mentioned because we were going to talk about it last week. And for those who remember Gremlins, most of us on here probably do. 1984 is when they came out. But they're redoing it, and there's not going to be any CGI.
Yeah. So that's kind of weird because Gremlins is an old 80s movie. And it has the mogwai that gets wet. You can't feed it after 12. What else? Don't feed after 12. It can't get wet. Yep. Oh no. That's it.
That was it. That was it. There was only two rules.
There was three, weren't there?
There were three. What is the other one?
I'm pretty sure there was only two main ones.
Sunlight. Was it sunlight?
Yes. I think it was sunlight.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'll dig into the archives and look it up.
I don't know.
But can you believe it though?
So no CGI and a new Gremlins. That's weird because the old one was puppets. The CGI wasn't really big, then of course. But yeah, so now we're talking about doing puppets again. Is that what we're saying?
I don't. It doesn't say from what I found. My sources didn't say. They just said they're not going to do any CGI. So it has to be some kind of puppet. But that's advanced quite a bit, right? So the puppetry, if that's the term for it. So I think it's going to be awesome. I'm curious about because the way they made the Gremlins when they turned bad back then was pretty scary. So I imagine it's probably going to be even better now.
Yeah, it's pretty weird. It was actually pretty strange.
Yeah. So it is. Dave also said it there. It is light, especially sunlight, which will kill it. The water and never feed after midnight. So there was three. Yeah. But I think that with what we've been seeing with Mandalorian, with the baby child, Baby Yoda.
You mean?
Yeah, no, baby, the child.
Don't do it. Wait. All right.
With the child, I think that we can actually see a really good version of the Gremlins. Not, I don't know if you call it animatronics at this point anymore. But I think we can see something good. It might be better than CGI.
I think someone in the chat room, Javier asked, "Is Mike Tyson's fight sci-fi?" Yeah, it is.
Yeah, this one was.
Yes,
this one was.
Yes.
But I'd like to see it. I don't know if they can pull the whole movie off in not having CGI.
Well, I'm not sure if they can either. Yeah. There might be some limitations, obviously, but even though that sounds cool, I'm still more curious about the movie itself, how it's going to turn out as a whole, because since they're going to be redoing it.
I was going to say just a reboot. I mean,
yeah,
it would have to be a reboot because the way that they took Gremlins out, it was you need to erase those the last two.
I remember the other two, so there you go.
Wasn't there three in total?
There was three.
Yeah. Only the first one was the good one. The other two were like.
Can you sing like a Mogwai for us, Game God?
Very good.
So what you're saying is Gigi's going to be in the new one.
Yes, that's right. That's right. A little bit more vase.
That's the best sound effects I've heard from you, by the way.
Hey,
I'm surprised you remember what they sound like. I'm impressed. I love that. I love that.
Hey, I've been practicing that all my life.
Hey, the big roll of thumb.
That's it. That's my big break. That's my big break.
15 seconds. All right, we'll talk to you later.
Hey, were you the original voice of the Gremlins? Were you the?
No, I wasn't. I lost that job by a little bit.
Everybody in the chat room, is commenting. Yes, yeah, and Dave is right. Gremlins 2 was like Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. It was that bad. Yeah,
yeah. It was so over the top. What was it? It was like the Avengers for Gremlins. It was 40 Gremlins in there. Every Gremlin you thought of was in it.
Wait, Spike. Wait, there's Spike.
Garbage Gremlin. TV Gremlin. Airplane Gremlin. You know, it's like
Like the Garbage Pail Kids.
What's Garbage Pail Kids?
What's Garbage Pail Kids? That's funny. Yeah, that's good. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, the Gremlins. If you're a fan of the '80s movies, Gremlins, there you go. You have something to look forward to.
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe. No, I mean, you still got to look forward to it. I mean, whether you like it or not, that's different.
2024.
Is that when it's coming out? Really?
No, I don't know. But at this point, it should be 2024.
Yeah.
The next 2 years are full with movies, so don't put it in those.
Speaking of 2024, what about young Luke? Are we? They're talking. The rumor mill says that if they're going to have a young Luke play young Luke, I don't know how to say that. If you're going to have somebody play young Luke, that fans speculate it's going to be this person. And now there's some rumors that say, yeah, this is the guy. And this is Stan Sebastian, who plays a Winter Soldier, of course, in the Marvel movies.
Mm-hmm.
Bucky. I think he looks great right there.
He looks a spitting image. He looks just like him.
So I'm curious about how young Luke will be. I mean, is it Luke after Return of the Jedi? Is that what we're talking about?
Yeah, because that was my exact question, Moose. He does look great here as Luke, natural. But is he young enough? I don't know if they're going to make him that young because, this is after Return of the Jedi that we're in The Mandalorian.
I know, but that's what I mean is he going to be playing like that? Like how young? Is he still young compared to what we just saw him, as?
Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
Now, the bigger question is,
because if you go younger, you got to get in between a movie somewhere. Because if you go too young, you can't go pre-Star Wars because he's too young. And then so you got to fit it in somewhere. So it's just an Adventures of Luke Skywalker. Is that basically what we're talking about?
Well, the rumor was a cameo appearance on The Mandalorian.
Well, is that for him or is that for Mark Hamill?
No, that was for him.
Okay.
I'm there with Gigi. This is my understanding because, and we'll talk more detailed later, but my understanding is that this is for The Mandalorian.
Okay, so now we're talking about it's after Return of the Jedi. So it's just older Luke, but young Luke.
Yes, exactly.
Middle-aged Luke.
Middle-aged Luke. There you go.
A young old Luke. But he looks great. I think he looks great. I actually like that poster, that pose there.
David Cameron says, I'd watch a movie about him making plans to pick up power converters. Exactly. So you can't go too young. And bullseyeing womp rats. That's it.
That's awesome.
But it'll be cool to see him. I don't think the likelihood of it happening is very slim to none. But
really,
I think Sebastian Stan is too big for it. I think he's too big for the role.
You're kidding me.
What? Yeah, well, hold on. You're telling me that Sebastian Stan is too big to play Mark Hamill as Luke?
No. Let me. I did say that.
I feel like we're going a similar direction as we did a couple weeks ago.
Hey, I did say that, but what I meant to say, right, hold on, let me take a couple of steps back, is that for him to play 5 minutes of a role, I think he won't do it.
Hold on now. See, now I really want to get into this because this is going to be bigger than you think, than what you're saying. It's not going to be 5 minutes. And this would elevate him so much.
Well, I think he's referring to Mandalorian, though, right?
Yes, in The Mandalorian, yes.
I know he's referring to that. This is what we talked about before last week, even when I had mentioned that now we know the Mandalorian can survive without quote unquote Baby Yoda because of everything they're doing. And so this could be we see this more. If they were going to do a spinoff, we would see him more in the Mandalorian. And so
that would be the only reason why.
Yeah, but this could be so huge for him that you go from being the Winter Soldier to being Luke. Are you kidding me? This would be perfect.
So I get that piece. You're absolutely right. That is a huge step. But if it's only a 5-minute role with nothing to come out of it, I don't know if it would be worth the time. That's what I'm trying to say.
So let me ask you a question, Gabe. How many roles do you think he's played since playing Winter Soldier that lasted more than 5 minutes in any movie? I'm just curious. And what do you
can we go back in time and change the comment?
No. I need to understand.
He had the only thing he's doing is the Bucky character. He's doing Winter Soldier. He's doing the Disney Plus spinoff. So,
all right. So
there's no need to even look that up. So we can just keep going forward. We can keep going forward.
So I don't know. Let's see. Avengers Endgame. Boom. Okay. So then from there on, he went to Endings, Beginnings. How big was that role?
Yeah. Multi-million-dollar. He was nominated.
The last full minute. He played Mickey in Monday.
No, that was Tuesday.
I got to tell you, man. I think it's a huge step up, and I think that he'd be a fool to turn that down.
One thing too, Moot, is that if it is a 5-minute role, I promise you, the way he looks here, they're going to say we got to bring him in for more.
Hey, wait a minute. Can you sign me up for that 5-minute role? I'll do
it. Hey, Dave, don't start, Dave. Dave says it ended before it began. So don't even start. We don't need those comments there, Dave. We don't need any of those comments.
Yeah. So anyway, I think that's a perfect idea. I think it looks good.
Yeah.
Unlike when you see some fan art and you see some of that, a lot of times I look at it and I go, no thanks. And I question it.
Yeah.
And I'm going to do that in the segment coming up. But
hey, Sebastian's playing another character missing in hand.
Hey, so this is true. That's funny. Here's the thing. According to Gigi, does he have let's use his term, does he have the acting chops to pull off a Luke?
I think so. Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah. I just wanted to throw that.
I mean, look, Bucky is basically Luke in the 1940s.
Oh, that's a great analogy.
I'm saying, he basically is.
Yep, I agree.
Looks like him too.
He does. It does look like him. All right, let's move on. Hey, listen, this is something that caught my eye, and I was when I read it, I'm like, oh, I'd like to go check this out. Where is this at? And I only saw it for one day, and then I saw it another day, and boom, it's gone. I said I saw people take pictures with it, and then it's gone. This is a Monolith.
Mm-hmm.
And this was actually in Utah. I don't know where. One of the
Red Rock something or another.
Red Rock State Parks, I guess, right?
Yeah, park up there.
Yes, exactly. Jean in the chat room. She has a great comment there. That's exactly right.
Yep.
Let's talk about Rosario here shortly. Don't get me wrong. I'm gonna talk about it. All right. So anyway, this Monolith. People talk when I saw it in my feed at first. I go, I'm not going to click on that. This is clickbait. This is somebody trying to get me to click on something.
Mm-hmm.
And then I saw it on the major news network, and I was like, oh, okay, all right. Well, this isn't it. Yeah. And then this Monolith, this I don't know what else would you call it?
AM/FM transmitter. AM/FM transmitter. That's how you get 8K.
A steel. I'm struggling for words. So a steel beam or something. I don't know how. Is it solid? From my understanding, it looked like it was solid.
It did. It looked like it had some weight.
But from what I could tell, this thing, I'm kind of moving past where it's at. It's in Utah. It's in the middle of nowhere. No one knows how it got there. People were like, this is crazy. It was they were flying over with a chopper, doing some other type of, counting pigs or sheep or wolves or something. I don't know.
They're going to sleep.
And then all of a sudden, internet gets involved. They find it through Google Earth. They find it. People find the location of this thing. They go out. They take pictures with it. They're standing by. Take some video with it, and then the next day it's gone. Or 2 days later, it's gone.
Well, so also a little backstory from what I've seen. This thing's been there since 2016.
Yes.
Right.
It has been there for a while. They just discovered it.
So
Right.
it's on
2-3 days ago.
It's on private property, but it's on state property, which is private, I guess.
Can't get no private in that.
You can't officially build in the park, so they don't know who put it there. From my understanding, it looked heavy. It was like 12 feet tall.
Yeah,
this thing, and it looks heavy. But then all of a sudden, the reports are like, yeah, some people moved it. They carried it out.
Yeah, so they dismantled it. Yeah,
and they dismantled it. It's not heavy at all, or what? What's going on?
It's aluminum foil.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it was solid. Y'all say it looks like it's solid. I don't know how you can tell by looking at it.
I saw a picture with a guy standing on top of it.
Hey, first of all, looking at the picture behind Moose, that appears to be solid.
What? It doesn't mean it could still be hollow on the inside. Those could be some thick panels and be hollow. I don't know what it's made out of. People make
it screws.
Yeah, you're trying to say that there's divots and rivets and
very possible. Very possible. Yes.
I don't know.
Welcome in. Glad to see you here. So
I wanted to see it. Yeah, Dave. Yeah, hey, Dad. I also Dave mentions in the chat room that it appeared again, which we're going to get to, Dave. I promise. We're going to get to it. So this thing, people take picture of it. Then another guy went and took a picture with it, right? He camped out in the park. He was going to go back the next day to go get some more pictures or whatever. And then he said it was gone. And then, yeah, they said, oh, yeah, it's gone.
He's the one who took it.
Yeah, he's the one who took it. So I mean, I don't know what to read anymore and understand. I read that it was also a prop from the show Westworld.
Right.
Which was back and filmed. There's no proof. No one's claiming it. But
yeah, I'm surprised nobody's claiming it.
Yeah, so there's no claim. So they say that the time frame of when it appeared and while the show was recording and all that stuff. So, but then to your piece, Moose, you said it disappeared, and where did it show up?
Yeah, Romania. It's gone, and then Romania says, "Oh, well, here's one here."
So, I mean, like almost instantaneous, right?
Honestly, though, could it be that Westworld filmed in Romania as well?
Absolutely, it could be. As a matter of fact, the pictures that I saw, if you look at them side by side, now granted, they're just pictures. They don't look the same to me.
No, they don't.
Yeah, looks like there might be a different something, but yeah. So I think it's very possible, Moose, that they did film some of that because that's not uncommon. Romania has been filmed in quite often.
Exactly.
So the one in Utah was 8K. The one in Romania was 1080p.
That's about right. Maybe 1080 is pushing it. Maybe
is it 720? 720?
720.
Kind of like your camera. But here's the thing. A lot of people are talking about, well, is it where did it come from, and is it aliens, and is this thing something from like the Space Odyssey 2001 where you had apes around it and all these things, which it's I love the talk about it, but honestly speaking, no, it's not it. But I would have loved to have taken a picture beside it just because I think that's kind of fun. I'm sorry I missed out.
Yeah, I bet you get good reception over there.
What are you talking about?
I listen, why is it such a big deal? Like, I mean, besides the lore of it, like, why are they making it just appear out of nowhere? It's a metal beam. It's a beam. Come on. Somebody put it there. Someone took it off.
Yeah. I agree with you, Gigi. I'm not sure why the internet went crazy over it. But still, again, I enjoyed the conversation for sure. People trying to guess what they think it might be, how they get it out so fast.
First of all, you guys, you would take this in your backyard and you'd put it back there right now if you could.
That's a different story, Moose. You're talking about we're making national news on a metal beam that we don't even know if it's solid or hollow.
Yeah, I'm gonna put it in my backyard next.
Hey, that's where it's showing up next. Everybody show up over there.
I'm gonna take pictures with it, and then all of a sudden, I'm gonna, my house will be on the news.
Yes,
hey, you know what you should do is just Photoshop a picture of you next to a beam and say it's in your backyard.
Well, that's almost like photoshopping something like that.
Oh, that looks great.
Hey, you like that? Yeah, everybody missing on the podcast, listening without visual. Sorry about that. That's the king in his hand right there. By the way,
That's right. Game of Thrones right there. Oh, hey, that's a clear shot right there.
Hey, that's it. That's it right there. Look, I'm beside the monolith right now.
You don't look very cold.
What's that?
You don't look very cold. It would be cold there.
Where?
And
In Romania?
Where the what?
The monolith, where it's at. It would be cold there right now.
Right now?
Yeah.
In Romania or in Utah?
Either one.
No. Because just looking at it, guys, here it is. Here it is right now in Romania.
Hey, that looks like a beach day. Don't look colder there.
Look at this.
And you can see some communication lines going through there too. Maybe that's the
phone's huge, Dave. I'm small. It's me.
So do you think the Romania one is as big as a deal?
Matter of fact, I do get smaller a lot of times.
Wow, I think that should make internet. I think that's internet news right there.
Hey,
Hold on.
The monolith right now.
Hey, you know the news part is how did Moose get small?
That's a good question.
Hey, Dave made a great point. If you think 48 degrees is cold, then yeah, you think Romania is cold right now.
All right. Well, there you go.
Hey,
anyway, I don't know what it is, but I'd like to have it.
Hey, you see the dig mark? Somebody dug that up and put it there.
No, it just appeared.
I'm gonna make one of wood and put it.
Hey,
you should.
Hey, let's take side bets. Where's it showing up next? China.
If they were smart, they would have put it. You could have put it on the opposite side of the earth. So it would have.
So it's the same.
It just keeps. It's going back and forth.
Somebody hammered it in.
The earth turned and it slid down.
Hey, I knew the earth was flat.
Flat. Don't
start that. That'll be everywhere.
Sad news this week, though, guys. Seriously, on a serious note, we did have some bad news. Actor David Prowse, who played the original Darth Vader, he passed away. That's pretty sad. It's pretty. He's the original crew of Mark Hamill. Their real names just escaped me all of a sudden. Harrison Ford. All right, so those are the only two living from that really tight-knit group from the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Kenny Baker died, played R2-D2. Chewbacca died. Peter Mayhew.
Correct. Carrie
Fisher. Thank you, Carrie Fisher. Thank you. Their real names are out here. The Star Wars names are right here. So anyway, anyway. You take a look at that now with Darth Vader. There's only two of the original cast still living from that particular.
How do you feel if you're the last two?
I don't know. Getting paid the most?
Hey,
I don't know.
Listen, it's a sad day, to see that. And for those who don't know, these are like true Star Wars fans would know who he is. Anyone else would not know that he's Darth Vader because he doesn't show his face. He's just
James Earl Jones did the voice.
Yeah, and ironically, somebody called Sebastian Stan, not related to Sebastian Stan that we just talked about, did the face of Darth Vader. So it was a 4-man crew that did Darth Vader.
Is that right?
Yeah, there was 4 people that played Darth Vader, different pieces of Darth Vader.
Well, yeah.
So, but
he's the original, but yeah.
Yes. So, nevertheless, that's
Anthony Daniels still is still alive. You're right. You're right, but I wasn't. But yeah, you're right about that. I forgot about that. He's up there in age. He's slim too. He's a tiny guy.
He's 74.
Yeah. So anyway,
he's only off you by 5.
5 times
times nothing. 5 years. 5 years. Come on now.
Wow.
That's a great picture, by the way, of Darth Vader with
that is a great picture. I love that. All right, well let's move into our main topic here, guys. This is one for the ages. Mandalorian chapter 13, as known as the Jedi. Yes, I'll just call it right now. If you have not seen this, This is going to be spoiler filled. So yes, Magic Mike was right.
He was.
Dave Filoni directed this one, and yeah, you're absolutely right. Yes, everybody overlooks C-3PO, Dave. You're absolutely right.
And thanks for correcting me on my math, Dave. 5 times 1, it should be yes. can always count on my lawyer / accountant to make sure I'm correct with the numbers.
Yeah, but it's absolutely true. Magic Mike was right. Dave Filoni directed this one. He wrote it. This is his baby. Ahsoka Tano showed up in The Mandalorian. Not only that, but Michael Biehn. You could say Bine. I don't. You know what? I don't know which one.
Bane? I think it's Bane.
Is it?
I think it's Bane.
You know, years ago, Val Kilmer tweeted something or put something up somewhere, and he called him Michael Biehn, Bean, and I just thought perhaps maybe that's just how you pronounce Michael's last name. Anyway, it doesn't really matter because he was in Terminator. He's been in Aliens. He's in a ton of stuff. Anyway,
we've had a few, just to touch on that real quick, a few Alien references here, you know, with the eggs and the spiders, and now we have Michael Biehn in this, and so yeah, it's been interesting.
Yeah, so I thought it was pretty cool to see him first of all, and then I couldn't make out what he was wearing from the initial start of the episode, in his outfit. Like I try to recognize, like, okay, well that's a storm trooper. Is that a Sith trooper? Is that a which a Sith trooper? I'm just making stuff up, guys. But what is that? What was he wearing? Was it one of the Red Troopers? What was it?
Well, it's funny. It looks like something from the Knights of the Old Republic.
Right. Yeah. It does. And that's what I go. It's something, and maybe I just don't have my finger on it. Maybe I just haven't seen a picture of it, and I haven't bothered to look it up or Google it or something. But the point is, I try to do this all off the top of my head of my Star Wars stuff in here, versus going out and try to look. And I just couldn't place it. I know I've seen it, but I couldn't place it.
Well, and I thought it was interesting too, Moose, and I have no idea because I am not familiar with the Star Wars like you are, especially the backstories. But they don't even give him a name here, so I'm not sure if he's going to be back. But that outfit was Oh, that's that. Yeah. Well, you know how it's just Star Wars, dude. They make it come back. But that outfit was really cool because I was trying to picture it too. To me, it almost looked a little Mandalorian-ish with on the side pieces. But again, I'm not familiar with the things that you guys are. But it was really cool.
Yeah, the very first thing I thought of was Knights of the Old Republic. That, and you know, obviously as we get into the show, the droids, the characters that are the minions, or I don't know what you want to call them. All those guys look like a throwback to the game, and even the whole episode itself was where we might have had the previous episode where there was a lot of lore from the movies, so to speak. This one felt like a lot of lore from the cartoon / game. And there was some references to the movie, which we'll get into. But I thought this episode was the best episode of the entire series.
Yeah,
the best.
Of course it was.
No, it wasn't, and it's easy to say that because you say Ahsoka Tano was in the episode, right? I don't think it's just that, but the amount of information and all the pieces that kind of got clicked together and new pieces that got brought forth, this episode really sealed the deal. The next 3 episodes, all filler.
Hold on a minute, Moose. I got to jump in here because
go ahead.
For we've talked about, you guys said last week was a filler, and I did say that was it 2 or 3 that was a filler, episode 2 or something like that. That was a filler. I don't remember which one it was. Me and Gigi agree with, but
the spiders.
This whole time they've been planting these seeds this entire time, and so to say that it wasn't just all these throwbacks, it was filled with them, and that's what made it what it was. What did make it what's so exciting, and you're trying to avoid it, was Ahsoka Tano. She is what made this episode without question. The fact that the Jedi, we get to see the Jedi in the Mandalorian. I mean, come on, this is so exciting. It's awesome. So be realistic about what we really enjoyed about the movie. All these other things, all these things they put in, they've been doing this every episode. You go back and say, oh, that's from this, that is from this, and it's been doing it the whole time. But Moose, I have a question real quick.
Yeah.
You may know, I just happened to notice there was an owl there in the beginning when we first see Osaka come into the screen. There's an owl on a branch. There's got to be a reason why would they put it in there. Are you familiar with that at all?
I am.
Go ahead, Game God. Go ahead.
So it is a mystical convoy that it's kind of like watches over Ahsoka. That you see it in the Clone Wars and the Rebels. So yes, it was placed on purpose. And you would only know if you were a fan of those shows because you would put 2 and 2 together.
That's right.
So that's cool there. And I even thought the line that she says about the energy field created by all living things, I was like, I was like, really? like I mean, goosebumps. I even saying it now. Even saying it now, I got goosebumps. Like feeling when she said that. So it was really cool.
Yeah. There's so many things like you guys are saying. So many elements in here throughout the show, from the beginning to the end, that just gave me the chills every time I watched it. And I watched it multiple times. And again, it's something that when you see her and you see the sabers come out, 2 sabers going through, and she looks like basically a ghost going through the left to right, taking these guys down. I love the bad guys, the outfits. I love their the mask and the way they pulled it. I loved everything about this episode. It was so Dave Filoni. It wasn't even funny, which reminds me so much of Star Wars. Like I said, he is the new George Lucas, and it's not it's not uncommon that you see all these flashbacks or pieces of the pie and the breadcrumbs to Rebels and the Clone Wars, and so you see all of these things, just tidbits, just placed throughout this entire episode. I love it. I didn't think, when the rumor was that she was going to play Ahsoka Tano, I thought, I'm sorry, I just don't get it. I don't get this one. When I see her live action, man, she nails it.
Man, you're not kidding.
The mannerisms, the way she walks, the way she fights. Either she did a lot of research or she's natural, but it came out really, really well done.
Well, it's probably a little bit of both, and I'm not as familiar with Ahsoka as you guys are, because I haven't watched Rebels or Clone Wars, but even knowing that, I'm not familiar with those mannerisms and moves. Just her playing a Jedi in general, everything was so great about what she did. The look she had, like you said, the mannerisms, but just the stare downs. The way she held the light swords. I thought that was that was
the
great.
light swords. So you may or may not know, Mike. She was the Padawan for Anakin.
Right.
Okay.
And when she first started, I believe she had blue lightsabers. Correct, Moose?
I have heard that.
Yeah, they were not white.
Very true. It was interesting. They were not white. And that's what I thought was interesting, because why were they white? Was it because she's not a Jedi? Or is her kyber crystal different? I don't know why they're white.
So I did do some research on it, and for what I understand, that these were Sith lightsabers that the evil force, the Sith force, was sucked out of it, which then made it a white kyber crystal, which is hence why she's white, because she still hasn't fully picked a true side, so to speak, and so that's why the crystals haven't changed yet.
Interesting.
That's very interesting. Yeah.
So I did read that, but if you notice the way she fights in an Anakin type style, very aggressive,
right.
very, she looks like she's assassinating some of these characters, the way she hides in the shadows and stuff, but she fights with that Darth Vader over the head. There's a name for it. I don't have the name, but there's a style that Luke fights with, where it's more finesse and more kind of fancier. Again, I can't pick the words. And then there's a Darth Vader style, which is a one-handed kind of broadsword type style. So there's 2 different styles.
Yeah, finesse.
Well, I know that they did some mocap with Darth Maul versus, I thought it was Ahsoka. Wasn't that in the most recent animation they did for, gosh.
It was the ending of Clone Wars.
It wasn't Clone Wars, was it?
Yeah, I believe it was Clone Wars, where he fights she fights Darth Maul.
Maybe it was. I'm sorry. They all kind of run together because I've seen so many. But but what happened? They did mocap, but they did it. But she's very, she has a lot of finesse there. So I don't know if they changed the style a little bit, but the actress, the stunt woman who did that mocap was I think it was Mary Lauren Kim or something like that. I can't remember. Anyway, and then Ray Park did, of course, Darth Maul, the mocap for him. Anyway, but anyway, that's neither here nor there. I just that's on a side note.
Listen, Moose.
Let's get her on the podcast sometime and talk to her about that.
Oh, that would be great.
Yeah,
absolutely. But so we have a lot to go over still.
That's right. Yeah, no, we can do the whole episode on Ahsoka. Let's keep going into the other spoilers.
Oh, feel free, go.
Yeah, where you're going.
Oh, so man.
Oh, you mean the spoilers for this show? The only one that I have is at the end, of course, when they talk about Admiral Thrawn, Admiral Grand Admiral
Thrawn. Yeah, I didn't see that coming at all.
I saw it. I cheered out loud, and I kind of looked around, make sure nobody was listening to me. But I did. I was audibly excited when I heard of Thrawn coming and playing in a live action. That is tremendous. Now, a lot of people aren't familiar with Thrawn unless you go back into the books, into the old books for Star Wars, or if you're familiar with the Clone Wars, Rebels, and so on.
Something here real quick because I want to make that comment because the Magistrate is Bruce Lee's granddaughter. And that was really cool.
So that's right. So the real actress is her father is Dan Inosoto, and Dan Inosoto was a student and friend of Bruce Lee. And if you watch like the Game of Death, the movie in the Game of Death, you'll see Dan Inosoto there. He's the guy with he's one of the towers. I forget which level he is. I don't know if he's the first level or whatever. But anyway, so he's, I'm familiar with him in martial arts. I mean, that guy was just a terrific guy. Obviously, a student of Bruce Lee and Jeet Kune Do.
Just to correct myself, Moose, I said goddaughter is what you were saying. Yeah.
Yes. And so best friend. What's great is, again, she's a real deal too. Her father was the real deal who passed it on, and so she can do all her own moves. She doesn't need anybody else to do her moves. She's the real deal, which is great.
So 2 points I want to hit on. We no longer can call him Baby Yoda.
This is true.
Okay, well that's not well, that is a spoiler, I guess. Maybe. Yeah. So I always want to say Goku, which that's not right. Goku that's a completely different timeline.
Yeah, it's Grogu. It's his name, right?
Grogu.
So was it needed? Do we need to know his name?
Yes.
I didn't. No, I thought that we could have gone on without it.
I agree with you, Moose. I think that no one's going to call him Grogu. I just want you to know that.
Yogurt. Dave. Listen, I don't know if I don't know if the name sounds right or not, but we needed a name. Baby Yoda we just needed a name.
Oh, come on. Baby Yoda.
We didn't need a name. We didn't need a name.
Look at Baby Yoda in Game God's background right there. Come on, give me a break.
No, he's Grogu.
No, he's not Grogu.
Gigi had.
Call him Gigi. I like that. So the other thing was call him Gigi. He's related. The other thing was Beskar steel cannot be cut by lightsabers.
I didn't know that. Did you guys know that?
No, I didn't. But with the lasers that bounce off and the blasters that go and bounce off, that makes sense. I thought that was interesting. I'm like, okay, this is why, if you think about the legendary battles between the Jedi and the Mandalorians, well, this is one of the reasons why you could say, okay, how could they possibly stand up to a Jedi? Well, if they're well trained and they're using a particular steel, well, then perhaps this is how they could protect, defend or attack or whatever they're going to do. So
I love Dave, always working. That's right, Dave. He's going to go after this lawsuit. It's copyright infringement. They cannot use GG. I've already trademarked that. Dave, you let me know how that turns out. I don't know how I feel about the lightsaber not being able to cut through the steel. I feel that the lightsaber has always been the pinnacle point. It cuts through anything. And for me to see the lightsaber couldn't cut through I mean, the steel
disappointed you.
spear. It did. It almost made me feel like, oh man, the lightsabers. I'm glad I picked the hoverboard. I'm glad. Yes, a win in my book.
No, see, I had the exact opposite feeling. I was like, oh my gosh, that is so cool. Because like Moose is saying, they are enemies. And so in order for you to survive that, the only natural enemy or only other enemy that we know of to the Jedi are the Sith. And they have lightsabers to battle. So what else would you have? And as it happened, I thought, this makes perfect sense.
Well, the great thing is that we know that the Mandalorians don't have a chance against a Jedi. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
I see a chance. What I mean by that is, they could counter some of the attacks, no problem. But a real Jedi is going to be able to use the Force, and so just like she did when she took him, he wrapped her up, and then so he's like, okay, this will be fun. Went over the tree, and now he's the one who's in despair. So I love that. And Beskar is obviously not very abundant, so they should be hard to find. Yeah. Unlike like in DC Comics, you think about Superman. I mean, everybody has kryptonite. Like, where was kryptonite from?
You just picked up 7-Eleven down the street.
Yeah, exactly. So at least we know that it's not readily available.
So the ultimate question now: do we see Grand Admiral Thrawn before this season is done?
Oh wow! So here's my thing. I think we're going to see him, and I also think for the next statement that we kind of led to, we're going to see Luke. I think we're going to see both of them before this season is up. And I think we're going to see Moff Gideon and Luke go at it. And I'm just calling that right now. That's what I think we're going to see before the season.
Moose, before you answer, Moose, I got to say something.
Oh, go ahead.
Mike, you should have stopped while you were ahead, man. You had it with episode 5, all right? You came out in top. You came out as the champ. You raised the belt up in the air, all right? When you said, I'll take on the best in the world, that's where you messed up. I just want you to know. So your predictions, as much as I'd like them to happen, I think it's just a little too much.
Yeah, I think it is. I think the Mandalorian is setting the stage right now because this is where you start to get the spinoffs because they're going to have something like this. And because when Grogu goes to the top of the mountain or at the Jedi temple, Grogu
who Gigi.
Gigi, when Gigi goes to the to the Temple Mount, and he's got we're going to see if a Jedi reaches out to him. I think it's going to be Luke.
Well, so what do you think about Mando training Gigi? You know how Ahsoka makes a comment that I can't train him. I can't train him. You have an attachment to him, so you should be the one training him. Do you think that's a feasible? Do you think you want to see that?
I don't even understand that. I'm sure there's some meaning behind it. I guess it was just to show his Mandalorian's worth. That's all I could say.
Yeah. Tad made it interesting. That's right. Tad made an interesting comment. I don't believe it, but he says,
that is an interesting comment. Yeah, he says in the chat room, Tad says, I think their helmet protects them from Jedi mind tricks. So that would be an interesting concept. If it's could the Beskar be that valuable? Possibly. It's kind of like a Magneto with Professor X.
Right?
Like, put on the helmet, going.
He's had Beskar all the time. I'm just saying.
We didn't know. Now we know.
So do you think that first of all, Gene, I would not like to see Samuel Jackson's character come in this. I just think that it's too much tie-in to the movie at that point. We need to keep it just enough tie-in to keep the movie interesting.
All right. So let me just say real fast here. So it is true that if they take Baby Yoda somewhere and a Jedi has to reach out to him, Luke is essentially the only real Jedi that could reach out to him. So that's not a bad opinion. That's not a bad opinion there. I just don't think we're gonna. Will we see Ahsoka again in this?
No,
we're done.
I don't think so.
I'm afraid that we won't. I really am. That's unfortunate, but I would love to see her in many episodes to come.
No, I think we're done.
Man, that's such concept. You guys probably show writers don't even know it. Dave says that it would probably explain why they never take their helmets off. That would be an interesting. Concept.
So they're kind of writing the story as they go right now, right? Because we've been kind of getting bits and pieces of what the lore is. Like we got like what they call checkpoints. We got to reach this checkpoint. We got to reach this check. But how we get there, the in between, like to what Dave said, maybe the helmet is why that explains why they don't take their helmet off. We don't know that for sure, but it can easily be interjected in and say that's why they don't take the helmet off.
Well, it sounds like we're writing the show, actually.
Yeah, they probably are listening to this. That's not a unusual thing.
Again, Moose, like you said this, I don't know how many times. This proves Dave Filoni needs to be involved with everything Star Wars from here on out.
I mean, it's true. He is right on the money. And I tell you what, I don't think. I mean, man, if we see some of the stuff we talked about tonight in the future, that's going to be really big, and that would the show would. It's so huge right now, and Baby Yoda is so big being called Baby Yoda. I that's why I don't think you should give him a name. And they're such a big wave. This is, I mean, in my opinion, this is what's carrying Disney through 2020. Right. I mean, the sales from Baby Yoda. You put Baby Yoda on anything, I don't care what it is. Is it an eraser? Is it a hand sanitizer? Whatever it is, it's selling. You know.
Are they rebranding all their toys as Grogu now? Or are they going to keep it as Baby Yoda? So
they have. They didn't brand it. Yeah, they didn't brand it as Baby Yoda anyway. So.
I love how Ahsoka kind of this says there's only one other person or other.
You can't see he's green because that interferes with the rest of the stuff. But anyway, yeah, that's Baby Yoda right there. Come on, give me a break.
I like how Ahsoka says there's only one other that I know that looks like him. So there we distinguish that they're not the same. Yeah. So if you ever thought that, so there was a lot of the Temple of Coruscant.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of tie-ins. So it tied a lot. It tied a lot together.
He would have been alive during that time because him and Anakin were born at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
I think we see a lot of this. He may have been around the temple at the time when Anakin went in there.
It was said that he was removed from the temple?
Yeah, yes, he might have been around, like he might have been close by. So obviously there's a lot of tie-ins there.
Yeah, he was at the temple and they smuggled him out. That's they say it in there.
Yeah.
And that he's blocking it. Can the child be the next Yoda before the Sith?
Yeah.
That would be interesting as well.
That would be scary, yeah.
Well, that would be crazy actually, because then we wouldn't have the other three movies. I don't think that would tie in, so I don't think that would be the way to go. But
it's all canon.
It is interesting to see what can be done. I tell you, this is definitely a huge piece when it comes to The Mandalorian. It is absolutely the best episode yet, and there've been some good ones. Let's be honest. This one, though, hands down, is very, very good.
And there've been some bad ones.
Well, if you say so. I've enjoyed all of them. I would just say that I'm looking forward to the rest of the season. I really hope it's not the last time we see Ahsoka Tano. I really hope that that's not the case. Would it be incredulous to say that she could get her own spinoff? No, I think that's very possible.
Mm-hmm.
But I'd rather see her tie in with like a series so it can continue on the way that I think it should.
I agree. Yeah.
Baby Yoda. I still think Tad mentioned in the chat room before we wrap up here. Yeah, Baby Yoda. Yeah, could be a clone of Yoda. So I think
so.
I don't think so either because they're using him to do the experiments.
I think this could be a scenario where Yoda and Yaddle could be the parents of Grogu. By the way, that's just my opinion.
Yeah. That's we'll see. We'll see how that shakes out. I don't know who knows if we'll ever find out really. As Magic Mike once said, can it stand alone without Baby Yoda? And it can. So, that storyline is going to end at some point. It won't continue on.
Season 3.
Then what is the question? Yeah.
Season 3. End of season 3, we won't see Baby Yoda no more.
But you got to have some other anchor that's going to bring in the rest of it. If you don't have Baby Yoda, what else do you have? You got to
Darth Maul.
It's going to be everything else, all the directions they've been going, Moose. It's going to be Moff Gideon. It's going to be all these different people that are going to come in.
Thrawn is going to be a new thing. That's the new bad guy, and that's how you start out season 2 or even season 3. You get Thrawn in there, it's going to be pretty bad.
Halloween next year.
Yeah, I mean, seriously, it's going to be really good. So I'm excited. Guys, thanks for joining us in the chat room tonight. We appreciate it so much. Don't forget, next week we do this all again. Don't forget.
I was just leaving.
Nerd alert, nerd alert, nerd alert, nerd alert.
You've been listening to Podcast for Sci-Fi with Moose, Game God, and Magic Mike. Nerds have more fun. If it's anything sci-fi, we're talking about it. We had fun, and we hope you did too. We have to split, but we'll be back soon. In the meantime, hit us up at podcast4sci-fi.com. This is Podcast for Sci-Fi, where all things sci-fi come to life. Come to life.